Good evening, dear guests.
Good evening, Miss
Good
Nam.
evening.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sinem Sönmez. Welcome to the introduction of the 6th Academic Studies Congress hosted by Bingöl University. And tonight we will talk about study of ageism in employment, the case in Nigeria, with Ms. Dr. Demet Hocam and Mr. Odiki Olimis Edwin. I hope I said right.
Very correct.
Thank you. And I want to say welcome all again. And can you introduce yourself first, ladies first, please, Mrs. Bichiji. Ladies first, please, sorry.
Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Demet Özcan Biçici from Istanbul Gelişim University from the program of Civil Aviation and Transportation Management program. Mainly my research field is in human resources management. So my area is I study on managemental cases. In this congress, we have studied on the case of ageism with Mr. Edwin.
So hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hi, my name is DJ
evening.
Edwin Olumese, a recent graduate of business administration in Istanbul Gelişim University. I studied masters in English. So we're going to be talking about our research paper that I did with my honorable professor, ageism in workplace. And I'm going to be speaking in the perspective of my home country, Nigeria. So it's a huge issue and a huge pandemic that we're currently going through in this country. And also it's universal. It's something that affects the world in general in the workplace. Ageism is a problem where people who are above a certain age are overlooked and underemployed, and whereas the industry is employing people who are much more younger and fresher graduates. This is a problem that I have experienced personally with family members, especially my own dad had to retire early because he knew once he gets to a certain age in this country, Nigeria, he would have lesser chances of getting employment.
Yes, maybe we can talk about the details. We will continue mainly. So mainly, thank you. We deeply thank you for the Congress attendance. We are honored to attend the Congress mainly. Here you are, Ms. Sönmez, from which point we shall continue. Maybe you can lead us.
Yeah, yes. Well, if you want, we can.
Yeah.
Yes, we are my
you.
internet
we are hearing you. Yes, we are listening you.
Problems. Sorry.
Yes, we can talk over you.
If you want, can we turn our topic, study topic, briefly?
Okay. Okay. Let me here make an introduction.
Can you tell us about your study briefly, please?
Okay. Let me make an introduction. Mainly, then Mr. Edwin will continue. So, Mr. Edwin was our student, one of my students, mainly. I was not aware about the case in Nigeria. We will talk about ageism. He in his project, he has worked over the data in Nigeria, only in Nigeria. But there was an awareness about the extreme case. So, but in this study, for this Congress, We have with Mr. Renet, on my part, my contribution about ageism was the comparison between the other countries, the case of ageism in other countries of the world, and the case in Nigeria. So we made a comparison with the other countries. So my contribution in this Congress was the comparison part. We will present some the data of other countries mainly. And we will underline the negative effect both on the older ones and young ones, negative effects of ageism. Then Mr. Edwin will yani concentration was on his country. He has transferred his the case in Nigeria to the study, and we upgraded the resources and the data about the case in Nigeria. We have worked over this case in 220, but we have upgraded the data and resources. And Mr. Edwin will talk about the ageism case about Nigeria. So during the project, I was not so aware about how we have studied. So we will present to underline fact also in the other countries, but when we'll go into the details in the numbers in all over the world, we see that there's an extreme case in Nigeria when we make this comparison. Related with Nigeria's part, Mr. Edwin will continue. In the Congress, I will present the comparison statistics that we have gathered from Stata and from some researchers and some databases. I have my contribution was that I have researched over it. We will present this in the Congress. And we will be honored to see our the attendance in our sessions mainly. And let's from this point mainly Mr. Edwin may continue. Maybe he can underline what we will underline about the case in Nigeria. From the other countries, I will present the data about other countries, but on Mr. Edwin will transfer the main experience mainly. Here you are, Mr. Edwin. Maybe you can continue about the case in Nigeria and by the things to Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you. And apologies for jumping the gun, but as my professor introduced, this is a topic that is very personal, not just to me, but it's a problem that is currently facing a major part of the world. So, for example, in my country, it starts so early. Discrimination and ageism in workplace starts so early that when you graduate from your university at the age of 30, once you reach the age of 30, you will not be allowed to serve in the National Youth Service Corps. So it's like the 1 year service that you go to after you've gone through the university. But here in our country, once you've exceeded the age of 30, you're not allowed to go to that. You're exempted from it. So it begins from that.
The age level is so low.
It is so low. It starts so low and then it goes so high. And then when you're at the job place and you lose your job, maybe at the age of 35 or 40, you will find it a lot more difficult for you to be able to gain employment. But in comparison with a younger graduate under the age of 20, 30, and all of that, they gain experience, they gain jobs more. So the problem should not always be how old or what age the person is or the applicant is. It should be how experienced or what they can offer in a workplace. And we are trying to promote here in this country that honesty fosters growth, whether in a country, whether in a business, it helps. And when you're trying to build a country, you have to make sure that everyone is honest with each other. And applications for jobs should be much more open. There should not be a criteria that should limit people except whether they're capable by experience or not. It should not be because they are too old to do the job. So I have experienced so many people also retire early in this country. They retire early because they find it more easier for them to retire and live off government's money than for them to get another job after you've gotten to a certain age. Most times you could be retired at the age of 45. Most times you could be retired at the age of 55. But when you go into the job market at that age, you have little to no opportunities for you to find jobs. So it is something that we have to be able to cater and we have to be able to deal with. And there are so many organizations that are coming up now, so many degrees and policies that are being put in place. And from our research that we've been able to do, we're going to elaborate on those problems and we're going to elaborate on the solutions that we propose that we can follow through to make this much more easier for us. Because we know it is not only going to affect my own country, it affects the world in general. So we're going to touch on this on our research and we're going to explain much more in depth and we're going to show you how we propose to be able to solve this problem.
So mainly, for example, when we studied with Ms. Edwin, we only studied, I want to underline, on Nigeria. But in this study, when I went deeper in the numbers or statistics of the other countries, we see ageism also in the other countries that I didn't expect it. For example, in Germany, it is also reported. In United States, it's also reported mainly. In France, it's also important, and in Britain, it's also reported. But when we go to the Nigeria, and then when we have gone to we have gone to the data of the 222, which is an updated comparison data. There was no number of people, no share of employment. For example, of the people over 50 years was presented in a report. So I have encountered this report, but no, there was no number from Nigeria. Here also we can understand that there is an extreme case. Mainly, and also Mr. Edwin underlined what he believed in his country in the speech. So we will present the details in the Congress. We are expecting the participants to our session. So we are honored again to attend this Congress. And also thank you for your successful organization. I wish it will be a very successful organization for all of us, for us and for you. Again, I wanted to end mainly by thanking to you mainly.
Mrs.
And
Pichici.
by the way, I want to wish all of the attendants of this Congress a happy New Year mainly.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Pichici. Actually, I want to ask both of you some question. Your topics are really, really nice. I'm glad to listen you. And I want to ask you, so did you have any opportunity to look at any other countries' situation, this ageism in employment?
Yes.
Except Nigeria or another.
Yes. We had made the comparison.
Yes. What?
Comparison with the other countries, and also Also, I have encountered some report, a report from Singapore in this data, as a report about ageism from Italy, and a report about ageism.
Oh, wonderful. Actually, yes.
Yes, and for example, and mainly when we are talking about the discrimination type, age over the top. Even in Italy, for example, it's in the European Commission. And for example, I did not expect to see this, but when and this is we observe this also in the other countries. But so we have also presented. We will also present the data of these countries, and also we presented the discrimination types. But here I can underline that over the discrimination type, age is at the top mainly. So other discrimination types. So I can underline the reports I have encountered and also added to the study from Italy, from Singapore, and there is and also from Germany, United States. There is a comparison in between these four big countries from Germany, USA, Britain, and France. And also, workplace ageism is also a common in these countries. So even we see this in these countries. Yeah, it is not, the data are not so low. Mainly the lowest one, for example, in the reports we have this. In fact, we didn't do the research. We have benefited from STATA, and it's a literature review study. But we will present the data. We have combined the data. We have cited the data from STATA report and combined them in a meaningful way, and we'll present all these countries' data in the conference related with these countries mainly.
Actually, really, really nice. Actually, I wonder all topic, and I hope our other participants will like to live or congress. And thank you again to join us. And we nice to meet you and listen to you. And the last, I want to remind us our Congress and want to say our last sentence. Our Congress main idea is smart future yesterday, smart future yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And also it will become between 21 and 23 in Bengal. And we will like to see there. See you next program. Thank you to join us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your
I want to complete this program like this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings to Bengal. Greetings to Nigeria.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. See you.